Here we are with another Friday Night Live, January 14th, 2022. And let's test the audio here. Sounds like it's going okay. I hope everybody is doing freaking amazing. We're well into the new year, midway of January. Spring is around the corner for a new growth. The days are getting longer. Today was much more noticeable than previous days, and that's a good sign when the days get longer. We know that spring is around the corner, and who doesn't love spring when we start seeing all the wonderful new growth and life come back in the plant kingdom, and of course the animal kingdom. You got birds coming back that flew south, that return from this area anyway, up in the land known as Canada, formerly known as Canada. Now it's known as China. But yeah, if anybody's on, can give me the thumbs up. They can hear me. Sometimes it doesn't show. Like the old ways used to show who was on, but not no more. So I guess they keep changing, right? So what are we here for? We're here to support and share our fasting lifestyle, the Master Fast system. That's what we're all about. We've had so many wonderful things happen over the past 6+ years. It's just incredible. And just it continues. It continues for people choosing to live and love it. I'm on a little bit of a deep purge right now, and just loving it. Lots of stuff being purged out from enjoying my times eating with my mama. But the last was a couple of months now, we got my mother mostly fruit, which is pretty amazing. Well, she's at a state where she can't really decide anything on her own, and she doesn't complain much anymore. So she's very happy with just fruit, and it's much easier on somebody in that state. So yeah, that's going well. It's not a nice place to be when you're. I would not want to be in that place, to be totally dependent on somebody else to take care of you. It's very humbling to have the honor to take care of somebody like that, but for myself to be in that position, wow, that's a strange place to be. But it's become very, very common in today's world for the elderly, and that age is getting younger and younger for people needing to be taken care of. I remember going and do some visitations on some long-term care homes, and I have asked, what's the age ranges? Well, they go, we have people as young as 50 and over 101. I go, 50? They go, yep. My goodness. So, it could be through any means. It could be through an accident, and they don't have the means to support themselves. That could be a way, but my goodness. What happens when you take charge of your health? You don't have to worry about that stuff, do you? That's a much better place to be, in my opinion, anyway. My 2 cents worth. If anybody has any questions, want to share their story, inspirations, we are here. Or forever hold your peace and continue doing what you've always done. The choice is always yours on the lifestyle you want to live, how you want to live it, with who you want to live it, where you want to live it. And those selections are getting fewer and fewer, especially in these past couple of years in some places around the world. So it's time to get ourselves straight with who we really are. The fasting journey. Over 31 years ago, coming up to 32 years. And what I can tell you, it's a path that you're going to be by yourself a lot. And will you be lonely? Absolutely not, because you're dancing with the divine when you're in this wonderful, beautiful state, fasting state, the natural state, where you're dancing with the fields of Plath. The Plath is the energy that flows continuously from the divine. And some people maybe don't want to be there. And we've seen that. That's okay. For temporary time, I would assume. If we look at the laws of the universe, cause and effect, we can't escape these laws. We're all bound to them because we come. Physicality comes from them, from these laws. So I guess everybody's quiet tonight. Okay. Well, I'll go on for a few more minutes, and if anybody shows up, we'll keep going. If not, we can call it a night. We skipped a couple of weekends, we're busy with family and so on and so forth. So here we are. We've been at this for 6+ years, sharing and supporting freely. And, it's not for everybody, that's for sure. People are looking for all kinds of things that they can do to avoid fasting, I can assure you, because we've all been there. Who wants to fast when you can eat? Well, when you know that, you love eating, but fasting is way better place to be, because you've dwelled in that place so many times and it feels so much better. then the excuses will be less and less, and you will make the time to dance with the divine, because that's what we're doing when we're in a fasting state. And it's always best to, not spread the information to everybody, when you're doing it. Keep it to yourself. You're in a group, we're in a private group, and yeah, we know this is a public, YouTube's a public platform that we put this one on, but it's okay, lots of people shared, and sharing is part of the growth in how we develop sharing our experiences, because it allows somebody else to say, my goodness, that's something that I can definitely do, and I'm gonna jump in, so yeah. So here we go, sipping our juice all day long, enjoying our day, doing all the things we need to do and we love to do, hopefully. Because if you keep doing things that you only need to do without the things you love to do, it's going to be pretty challenging life, right? So we learn to love everything we do, no matter how challenging it may be. And boy, there's been a lot of challenges these past several years, especially these past couple of years, lots of challenges for many, 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 many people around the world. If you're new to master fasting, excuse me, what we all suggest is read the protocol, read the MFS protocol, read it a few times, at least 3 times. So you start having the basics become you, and start, reading all the frequently asked questions on the website. And of course, there's the Facebook group, which we're in right now with this live call, that you can do searches for pretty much any question that people have asked has pretty much been asked. It's very rare and nice when we do get a new question that's not been asked before, because it's pretty much mostly somebody's asked it or very, very similar to it. So yeah, we don't have all the answers, but by goodness gracious, what the human body is capable of when you dance with the divine is limitless. The regeneration and restoration of the physicality, it's incredible. If you choose to allow it to happen, right? It's always a choice. And that said, choose wisely. So everybody's going to be quiet tonight. The system slowly being tampered with and shut down in various degrees. So it's a very good idea to prepare, as we've been saying for the last almost 2 years. Prepare, have some food for at least, they say, 3 to 6 months. And some are saying for about 18 months it would be wise to have, which isn't going to hurt, some emergency food. Hello, Dave. Where can I find the latest and most simple instructions to get started on an MFS, please? Dave, just go to the masterfastsystem.com website, and the protocol has got all the information. There's a fee for that, of course, $45. We go through the frequently asked questions, and away you go. There's the protocol and the tools that we use. We call them tools section. That's available with the protocol for all the things that we use to support us during a fasting state and a fasting lifestyle. Because the physical, mental, and emotional bodies will go through tremendous changes. If you haven't seen people that have gone through MFS lifestyle, then that's another place to start, right? In the YouTube MasterFast YouTube channel, where you can go start with the testimonials. It was called Saturday Night Live before. We changed it to Friday Night Live a little while ago. Dave, thank you, sir. Is the original MasterFast now not recommended? We don't recommend people. The original MasterFast, there's, how do I put it? The original MasterFast is always the same. It's how we implement it into our life structure. And there's infinite ways that we can implement it to put somebody on a long MFS, like 108 days, where we used to suggest. It's called Master Fast, not Master Cleanse. To put somebody on a long Master Fast for 108 days, like we started off, will you get a massive transformation? Absolutely. But what happens after is most people are not attuned to what fasting really is, a spiritual lifestyle. And it takes a huge, massive emotional toll when people go back to eating, because they don't listen to anything other than wanting to do the fast, and they see all the wonderful benefits people have gotten, but they don't pay attention to breaking the fast and how important and vital to sustain and maintain a clean, minimal eating with sustained fasting. So it doesn't happen for most people doing that. Even though they've gotten tremendous results, some people just go cuckoo with, eating and get themselves in trouble. So why do we need to go down that route? What we suggest is, starting on a weekly time cycle, 2-3 days a week is a great place to start in there. And do that for a while, do that for 1 or 2 years. Get a feel for fasting, breaking the fast over and over and over again. Get a feel psychologically, emotionally, learn what it feels like, experience what it feels like. And by doing that over and over and over again, you're not going to become an expert, but you're going to become more prone to having an understanding that anything goes when you're fasting. And you're not going to, what's the word? be prone to being more into fear state and so on and so forth, because anything goes. All things come to the surface when we start fasting. And as we do it little at a time, it becomes much more tolerable, and you get to learn how food affects you after breaking a fast, instead of doing it on a long fast and then trying to find out what it's like, and getting into a dangerous place of eating highly obstructive foods, and then whoa, and you pay the price that way there, right? Dave, I'm talking about Stanley Burroughs. That was first experienced 10 days fast in 2005. Stanley Burroughs, is that the master cleanse, right? With the water, lemon, cayenne, and maple syrup. And some people, the upgraded one, they say they use honey. I believe that was him. Yeah, this is Master Fast. Yeah, Master Fast is at it's a whole different level, I guess we can say. It's just it's much more powerful at purging than anything else we've seen and tried. And believe you me, if I've tried a lot of different types of fasting. So if you want to go down the compared to like a water fast is aggressive, but it's not very powerful at purging, and it stresses out the kidneys when you're drinking all that water, believe it or not. We don't even drink water. Master fasting lifestyle, we don't drink water. We have the new understanding that only the body can feed, hydrate, purge, build, balance, and heal itself through soul from source. So meaning, whatever the physical body's needs are, mental or emotional, we don't need any physicality to nourish those. We can get those from the fields of Plaf, from the divine, from the soul. It comes through that way. And once you've experienced that, once you experience the body starts hydrating itself, I don't know how to explain it, but you'll never be thirsty again, and or you'll never be hungry again if you continue living and loving a clean, minimal eating lifestyle, because it's so much more satisfying. But are we going to fall off the wagon? Yeah, most of us are going to fall off the wagon, and that's just the way it is. But when you've tasted, we call it the nectar of God, in that wonderful, beautiful fasting state, it happens especially in the longer dry fasts, which will come slowly over time as we adapt ourselves with dry fasting, and you'll be able to go longer and longer and longer. And that's where we use the season changes. We do the longer dry fasts, right? So once you've gotten into that, we can really start to feel that nectar of God. So it's a kind of sweetness that comes through the back of the throat, and it's very nourishing, and it's invigorating. Anna, what tools would you recommend for nausea on drinking days? On drinking days, you get nausea. I do multiple enemas and try to add little ginger juice to kidney tea, but it's still very hard to drink juice because of nausea. Heartburn, wow. Heartburn as well. If you try different brands of juices, sometimes it could be a juice that I've had that. People have had that. They change juices. different brand, and they solve that. And if that doesn't do it, try adding a little bit of baking soda, maybe half a teaspoon to a bottle. See if that helps. This is for the heartburn. The nausea, this is going to pass over time, but for the time being, ice and heat and interchange, keep the heat on like 10-15 minutes, then put the ice 10-15 minutes. I wouldn't go much longer than that with ice, maybe about 10 minutes. And heat, ice, do that a few times, end with ice, and see if that helps with the nausea. Keep washing the colon. Extra washing is not going to hurt, it's only going to help. Peppermint essential oil, I think, is also helps with nausea, if I remember. You can look up the other essential oils that are good for nausea. Acupressure points. Make sure you're massaging those kidneys with the burnt stick, right? Get in there deep as you can. It's, slight discomfort. You don't want to cause pain, but you want to be a little bit discomfort. So just dig in there and counterclockwise into the kidneys. And of course, you got different acupressure points you can look up. We shared charts you can find for different points for nausea. This is the first one that right away, you get nausea, dizziness. Just hold it. Put very firm pressure with your finger, and just hold, and just stay like that and breathe. Make sure when you're getting up from seating or from your bed, do it very slowly. Make sure your horizon is all okay before you move on, because we don't want to see anybody falling. Nausea, dizziness is common in fasting. Most of us when we started fasting, we've went through that. It's not fun. I've went through horrific nausea and dizziness. I had severe when I had the tinnitus break out from a very, very loud machine I was working on in late '99. It was a very loud machine. I was under a lot of stress and everything, and it triggered tinnitus, ringing in the ears come on, and along with that came horrific nausea. And I couldn't work in that field anymore. I was done. I didn't want to hear anything loud anymore. And I went through quite an ordeal dealing with that for a while. But I wish I had the master fast system laid out back then, because I would have saved myself a lot of heartache, a lot of pain and suffering. But Anna, without knowing anything else on your age and your lifestyle and what tinctures you're on, you need to load up on tinctures. It's a big support system in a very, very powerful purging, detoxification that purges like no other. MFS it purges very deep, and you'll know when there's a lot of stuff being stirred up and people start going through the juice tastes too sweet, where it didn't taste sweet when they started, and then it starts tasting too sweet. It's another sign there's a lot of stuff being stirred up, and you just got to be consistent, persistent, and purge it out, or just back off and start again the next week. And slow it down with green juices. You may want to just slow it down. Dave, do you think it's addictive and maybe dangerous? Do you mean the fasting state? It can be dangerous if you're not prudent, right? Just like anything else. Yeah. it can be dangerous if you're not, following the protocol, because, we've met so many people that have been doing raw foods and fruitarian, and they think they're clean and they can handle it, no problem. They're just they were full of obstructions, full of caca, just like everybody else. Didn't matter how long they were doing that. So, unless you've been living a fasting lifestyle, and even the ones who've been living other types of fasting lifestyle come to Mass, they're still purging. So, fasting lifestyle with clean, minimal eating. Yeah, it's addictive. Is it dangerous? Not when you're following the protocol. I haven't seen anything. We've only seen people get in trouble that fall off the protocol. They don't wash enough. Their colons, they don't drink enough juice. Especially newies, you got to get that 2 liters into you. I don't care. Get 2 liters into you. You don't want to be forcing, but if you're sipping all day long, you're not going to be, you won't have to force yourself over a 12-hour window. So it's pretty simple to do. Like I was able to get 3 liters in some days, no issue. So don't drink enough, not enough tincture support to keep the energetic channels open and flowing, which is very important. Herbs are God, thank God for the herb kingdom. Thank God for the herb kingdom. It's just a beautiful arsenal, tools of arsenal we have. It's just amazing. It's vast area of support with herbs. And can I do bubble with different juice, not with grape juice? The bubbly? Yeah, sure. There's many juices that we suggest. If you read the protocol, it's grape, pomegranate, watermelon, cranberry. What else off the top of my head? The dark juices, the berries, any of those juices, or you can mix and match them if you like. Like we say, if you want to slow things down, you can mix them with lighter juices, like an apple or a pineapple or a white grape. It's the white grape. It doesn't have the power of the dark grape. No, sir. Yeah, all the juices, the fruit juices have power to some degree, but the dark and the light is just a different spectrum. It's just different field strength. So you're going to see a difference in that. So yeah, some people want to just slow things down, and some people want to put the pedal to the metal, like some of us. It's not always prudent if you're not prepared with all the tools. You need to be prepared. You need to have everything in place. You need to know them. You need to know what to do. You need to be assured what to do when anything challenging comes up, healing reactions. We don't call them healing crises. Healing crises is when people are going down the pharmaceutical path. Those are healing crises. And or people are just not following protocol and doing, I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, you can get into yourself a healing crisis. I mean, healing crisis, right? We call them healing reactions. It's a healing reaction. Bodies trying to purge so it can regenerate and heal. So, yeah, fasting is addictive, and especially the dry state is where people get themselves in trouble, because that's the most addictive, because you're not doing anything, and then you start tapping into this energy, and when the GI tract's not clean, then you're going to get to a point where the body needs to move things out, and it can't, and that's where we can lay the term of drowning in our own filth. So be wise, follow protocol, start slowly. I don't know where you're at. Your daily dry windows, weekly dry windows, monthly dry windows. Then you have your season change. Anna, thank you very much for your answer. I will try different juices. You're welcome. Yeah, there's so much things. Like I said, we have so many tools and all these suggestions. That's some off the top of my head. Ear candling, all as well as forgot to throw that one in. It's just to help move energy. That's all it is. Do 2-3 candles in each ear and see if that helps open things up. See how you feel after that. So that's another suggestion. A lot of controversy on ear candles, but we don't worry about that. Because we go by results, not theory, right? Everything we're discussing has been used and is effective. So otherwise, we don't suggest them. Everything's in the protocols, been used and is effective. For somebody who's master fasted, otherwise it wouldn't be in the protocol. And most of them were experienced by myself, and ran as well, in the last 6 years. But over the years, I've tried a lot of different things to kind of try and get towards perfection. There's no such thing as perfection, but there's the quest to perfection that's ongoing, right? It's a journey, an ongoing journey, quest for perfection. It's ongoing and never, ever, ever reach that point because there's always room for improvement. So that's what we can suggest. And there's always room for us to learn as well, right? We're always learning from people master fasting and sharing their experiences, which has been a tremendous benefit for those reading the master fast protocol as it is right now. There's all that, some of all my experiences, and many, many, many tens of thousands of people's experiences, and a few wonderful teachers I've had to bring forth what is the master fast system today. So yeah. Did I get all the questions here? I believe so. And I think you've been here a while, right? Toronto. Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody. It's always wonderful to be able to share with people who are, health-minded and wanting to take charge of their health. Now more than ever, we're going to have to take charge of our health. The system up here is breaking down by the day. You call an ambulance, it won't come. So if you want to rely on that system, good luck, because it is breaking down. And, even if they turned it around and got it all back to working to somewhere where it used to be, it was still a broken system. It's still a broken system, right? Somebody goes into emergency. What are the causes of going to emergency most of the time? It's usually an injury, right? That's a given, car accident, injury at work or something, or something that is induced by after a meal, which could be right after a meal, or it could be within hours of a meal. For example, the night when you go to sleep after somebody's had whatever for supper, and then they get taken to emergency. This is a big majority of the cases. It could be during the day as well, right? Having lunch or whatever, but it's always revolves around eating. And another one is um, taking the proper dosages of prescription drugs and or screwing up your dosages, making mistakes, maybe taking too much of certain dosages which are dangerous. So if it is related to food, what could be possibly going wrong? Or there's a buildup of obstructions happening and the body starts shutting certain things down because it's overwhelmed. So we need to free it up. And that's why we say if we put a colon therapist in every single hospital emergency unit, you probably need at least 2, 3 of them to take care of everybody. We would see a lot less hospital stays, and hospitals would start losing money. So I guess we can't have that happen, right? But of course, people are going to have to be educated in how to eat properly and so on and so forth, and how to go more towards a least obstructive lifestyle. And not everybody's going to listen, right? Because people say, I don't care. I only live once. I'm going to eat whatever I want to eat, whenever I want to eat. Okay, thank you very much. And we're not interested in that. Where, like Sharon says, put your health into your own hands. Exactly. Because nobody's going to be able to save you. Do emergency care from hospitals save lives? Absolutely. But is it what they're doing that's saving a life, or is it the body saving itself? That's the question I ask. If it's a gunshot wound, yeah, I'll say, the doctors had a big play in it. Or you bleed to death. Excuse me, you bleed to death. Or something like that. But something ruptures, or aneurysm. But what are these all attributed to? Lifestyle. So I lost my train of thought. Yeah, it's always attributed to food. So we can fix that up. We can fix it very easily. It's not simply not easy. It's simple. Make lifestyle choices, changes. So yeah, take charge of your own health, people. That's all we can suggest. Looks like we're moving towards some darker times, and hopefully we can snap out of this nonsense sooner than later. They just announced Mexico's wide open. You don't need any medical anything to go into Mexico if you want to go on vacation there. But depends where you are. How do you get back? Maybe a challenge. And what was the other place? El Salvador, I think, was another one. Florida's wide open. So yeah, you have people in power who think differently, and power corrupts, and ultimate power ultimately corrupts, or something like that. People in power. It's a very addictive place for them to be, with all that power that they so-called believe they have, because people have voted them in to be there for and we the people. So We can only elevate their souls, right? Elevate their souls. I think I've tried the bubbly with white grape juice years ago. I don't think I've used anything other than the dark grape and maybe the white I've tried years ago. Tastes great to me, but hey, try it out. Let us know how it tastes with the other juices. It's just make sure it's some cooked fruit juice when you do it. That's what I would suggest. I've actually done it with raw grape juice as well many years ago. This one we were trying different things, and this drink was actually developed, and we used to call it champagne in the early Masterfast days. It was a nice, refreshing drink. So yeah. That was when raw was law for myself. Couldn't look at me with any cooked food. But hey, the more raw foods you eat, when you choose to eat, the better. That's for sure. More cooked you want. It's addictive. Anna, maybe the problem with the brand of grape juice that I use. Yeah, Anna, try it out and let us know. What are your thoughts on blood oranges, Sharon? Yeah, great. Eat them when you want to eat. They're wonderful. If you want to mix a little bit of the blood orange juice in your grape when you're doing that, that's fine. I was feasting on blood oranges in Italy, man. They have beautiful blood oranges there. They were amazing. Oh yeah. All fruit is beautiful when it's ripe, fresh, and local, even better. But as long as it's ripe, if you can't get local ripe, get your next best thing, right? Get imported ripe. If you can't find local or imported ripe, it's going to be challenging to stick to fruit, right? There's frozen fruits, but yeah, you can do that for a while. You can put it off. You can go to the squashes. There are ways to prepare squash raw with lemon and stuff. You have to grate it and let it break down so you can chew it easier. Some of them are tougher, but it's all possible. It can be done. Can be done. Or you can bake them, right? But again, yeah, they are addictive, but it is fruit, and the cooked fruit are much less obstructive than anything in the leafy green or vegetable kingdom. I would assume, for the most part, maybe not everything, but for the most part. So yeah, squashes, they're very easy to move through the system, and they're very satisfying, especially in the winter months that we have here now. Yeah, we were doing a lot of squash, and they're very nice. Baked, you can bake them, make a soup, however you like. Steam's your next best, I guess. I guess I would stay away from boiling. because boiling tends to draw out all the essence into the water. And that's why we make teas. We boil it and it goes into the water. The essence, the spirit of the herb goes into the water, and then we drink the tea, right? So we want to keep the essence within when we're cooking and bring it to higher order. So by baking is probably one of the better ways by far. In a fire would be nice. So you have the energy of the fire. Who doesn't like to have fire as a company? It's amazing. You just can stare at fire for hours and hours and hours. It's just amazing to watch. Never get tired of it. Never two flames the same, right? Because it's alive. So yeah. Blood oranges, man. That reminds me of those wonderful blood oranges in Italy. They were good. They were really good. The fruit there was so inexpensive. The area was. It's just like, wow. Over here, the price of fruit has gone crazy. $50, $60, you don't buy much fruit anymore. A few mangoes, papaya, some persimmons, and away you go. Anyway. So if anybody has any last questions, or we can call it a night. Going once, going twice. Anna, what are best vegetables for salad? Leafy greens, and of course, herbs, if you can pick wild herbs. So whatever leafy greens you like, and that would include sprouts. I lived on sprouts for a long time. Was it close to 15 years living on sprouts that I grew? Sunflowers and pea shoots were my staple, and I would occasionally grow some brassica blend or whatever other types of sprouts, but those were two of my staples that I fully enjoyed. And I occasionally just buy something and mix it in because I wasn't able to grow the other things, like spinach or whatever. But you can also do baby spinach, baby sprout spinach, right? A lot of sprouts are on the market these days. But yeah, sprouts, wild herbs, and other leafy greens. Some people like romaine, but that's one of the lettuces. I was never really a fan of romaine. It's just like filler. It's just like water to me. Doesn't have much flavor. I was more into the tastier things like Jack. Hey, Jack. Homegrown sprouts, absolutely. I was more into the flavors. The sprouts had tons of flavor. The kales, the spinaches, the dandelion, bitter, some basils, collard greens, some of the cabbages you can if you can handle that. If it doesn't give you gas. you know, I if you go into the more of the vegetables like the cauliflowers and the broccoli, like broccoli is not a great tasting vegetable raw. It can be eaten, but I was never a fan of eating it raw. When it's steamed, it's got so much more flavor into it, right? And cauliflower, it's maybe a little bit easier than broccoli, but still on the heavy side. And yeah, I guess that one there is a little bit easier raw than broccoli, but some people enjoy them raw, and that's fine. But leafy greens, and then you can put your tomatoes, your cucumbers, your peppers, zucchini. You can spiralize zucchini, kind of mix in the salad as well, or chop up zucchini. Rather non-sweet fruits are there, top of my head. I don't know. I used to make so many salads before. Eggplant. They have the Oriental eggplant. You can eat those just like that. It's like bread. It's absolutely wonderful to eat it raw. Try it out. The Oriental eggplant, the long, skinny, purplish ones. Yeah, you can have the other ones as well, but these ones are much more flavorful raw. The other ones you can, but they're taste better baked, and they're part of the fruit kingdom as well, right? The eggplant. I wouldn't go too much on eggplant, but you can have them. I was in my days, I was simulating a plate of pasta with bread, right? That's it. Growing up, that's what we had, right? Spaghetti and bread or whatever. That was their staple with tomato sauce, you're dipping. So making a plate of spiralized zucchini with tomato sauce, and then I have my eggplant bread. My goodness, and there you go. And it was gave me that nostalgia feeling, eating with my parents when I was growing up. So yeah, there's so many innovative ways you can do with raw foods. And the more you stick with raw, the more you'll be able to be creative, and the more you'll enjoy raw food. The reason I can say that is because I did 100% raw food, as much as I knew, for almost a decade. It was very close to a decade. The reason I say as much as I knew, because a couple of times I was that I knew, we had gone to potlucks and people had like cooked quinoa instead of sprouted quinoa in some of the dishes, and didn't find out till later. What are you going to do? But it was a raw potluck. It wasn't a cooked potluck. And I was got beat upset in those days, but then you wash it off. Okay, no big deal. Not going to happen again. But yeah, it's pretty much 100% raw for all that time, and it was a great, wonderful experience. And I, would suggest everybody, try going raw and enjoy that for a while, and see if you can sustain that for a few years and see how you feel. But we need to embrace the fasting lifestyle if you want to really embrace and thrive with your health. You got to go with fasting. The diet's only going to get you so far. You're not going to be able to purge deep on any diet. It doesn't matter. I've always had fasting, and until I hit the point, even though I was doing all types of different fasts and longer fasts, until I hit the point and discovered or reawakened the dry fasting. That's where everything changed. Master Fast came to be born. So yeah, we got lots to learn, and we have lots to share because we've learned lots. But as we say, we don't know everything, and Nothing like a plate of pasta, hey Jack? Yeah, that's for sure. Pasta asciutto. I had at one time we were doing at the later days when started the end of my raw food. It was mostly raw, but introducing a little bit of cooked here and there. One time I decided, what happens if we would put popcorn into a salad? And holy jeez, did everybody devour those salads? And then I put it into the zucchini, spiralized zucchini with the tomato sauce, and it was like the texture of having like ground meat, beef, because it would soak in all the moisture, and people love that. So there was many innovative ways that you can do things and have some fun if you want to have the little bit of cooked occasionally, no big deal. Jack, pasta was great, but wow, how obstructive. Oh yeah, my God, if I eat grains, man, I start sneezing right away, even a small amount. Right away, I start sneezing within minutes. It's just like the body becomes very, very sensitive, and that's a good thing. We want our senses to be alive and awake and tell us things. We want to respond to what's going on with the body as we're putting things into the body, and we want to know, is it okay to consume this stuff or not? If it's in a complete numbed out, deadened state, we can eat anything and everything. You won't feel anything. It's not that it's not doing damage. It's just in a silent mode. When you're in an awakened state, sort of say, meaning the nervous system is awakened through many years of cleansing and fasting, you're going to know a lot more through what foods do to you. Big time. Yeah. So yeah, you become much more sensitive. So yeah. All is well, and I guess we're at an hour into this thing. And any more last questions, or we'll call it a night? Thank you, everybody, for joining. It's been a blast, as always. Keep that plasma love always flowing. Keep the spark of the divine within our hearts. And let's continuously elevate all the souls, especially of the leaders of the planet, to live in peace, balance, correct conduct, because there is no other way to live, especially now what they call the end of the times we know to the new beginning, right? So thank you so much. Have a good evening, good day, good morning or afternoon or wherever you are. And we'll see you on the page. Ciao, ciao.